Hello and welcome to the grand final edition of Super Summer Series TV Season 4. Ben, welcome to the grand final edition and congratulations on Berkeley & Co. making the grand final for this season.
Thanks for having me, and very much looking forward to Sunday at 3:00.
Well, this is what it's all about. The Claret Jug, we've finally got it back from the Fuggies, who were last year's premiers. We'll have a look at them in just a moment and have a look at how their season went. It's a bit of the poison chalice, but that's what you'll be playing for this Sunday and have your name engraved on it, along with Pete Delbridge, who is actually going to be our special guest tonight when we break down the analysis and have a look at who's going to be winning this week. We don't think it's fair that you should be analysing yourself and the opposition. So Pete will be joining us a little bit later, but that's what we're playing for.
Yeah, thanks to Dave for handing it over. Nice to see he's given it a cut and polish. Obviously, a few vodka shots over the course of the celebration throughout the year. Got the better of the Claret Jug, but it looks nice and shiny, and hopefully Luke and I and Berkeley & Co. will be having it in our hands on Sunday afternoon.
All right, well, let's look at the Fuggies. So obviously last year's premiers, but it was a big fall from Grace, like many teams before them. So just finished 10th, so second last on the ladder. Just the 2 wins, 7 losses, a draw. Lost their skipper, Dave Sortino, and that kind of sent Reeves into a free fall. The shoulder slumped. He wasn't able to recover and pick himself up off the canvas. And no matter what Rory could do to try and lift the team and lift Reevesy and play some good golf, Reeves wasn't able to recover.
No, disappointing from Reevesy to rely on a young Rory who's just getting into his golf to try and lift them to some sort of, I suppose, competitiveness throughout the season. But Rory's a very talented golfer, and given given their performances over the last couple of months, particularly after Christmas, once Dave sort of wasn't available, I think Rory might be a chance to usurp Reevesy come next season.
That could be it. I hear Dave is back on the course, which is fantastic news. And could we see Reevesy as a third wheel next year? That is a high possibility.
I think we will. He's lived off that one putt in the grand final and hasn't done anything.
Let's face it, it was the only thing he did on the day.
And that season. So, look, he's lived off that. I think it's time that maybe Dave looks into new horizons and get a father-son team going with Rory.
Could be a couple more of those too. We'll have a look at that in the trade special coming up in a few weeks. The specialist fielders, so played off in the grand final, Tom, but how disappointing is that for them to be the wooden spooners for season 25-26? Just the 2 wins, the 8 losses. I have some serious concerns about whether this team that has kind of been the benchmark since the season, since this competition actually commenced, as to whether they'll actually be on the park together as a team next year.
Well, I had to think about the specialist fielders during the week when you said to have a think about it in our pre-production meeting, and I liken them to the St Kilda Football Club of 2009-2010. At the height, one of the best teams in the competition, superstars everywhere, great golfers everywhere in this team, and then you've got great footballers, and got to 2 or 3 opportunities and couldn't make the most of it and failed at the last hurdle. And by more than means, they were a more than capable team of winning those premierships, but they just failed at the last hurdle. And
will I be back?
I don't think so. No, I think it's done. I think the specialist fielders are done. I think they will have a mutual breakup,
parting of ways,
and I think Luke Delbridge and Mitch Jamison will find themselves a new partner comes Super Summer Series 5.
Cannot wait for the trade episode of Super Summer Series TV to have a look at where the teams are going to be placed next season. Let's get into good shot, bad shot, because you're going to depart us very shortly. But good shot, bad shot. The Summer Blaze polos should be continued for the premiership team.
Shocking shot. That's a shank off the tee. There is no way. You're in the water hazard with that question there. There is no way that should ever come back into the Super Summer Series. That was a bizarre and disgraceful decision from the commission to award the premiership team with such a huge...
You're not sure, you don't think that a couple of unique looking points of difference polos for premiership players on Wayne here and Pete Delbridge is becoming? And
look, you haven't picked the greatest models, but I just think that it's not a great look, and I don't think that look would suit anyone. I think you could have Brad Pitt wearing that, and you'd still look ugly. So.
All right, okay. Thanks for that summation. Righto.
Good shot, bad shot, Commissioner. Top 6 for the SSS with top two getting a rest on first week of finals is a great evolution for the competition.
Good shot, great shot, straight down the middle with a baby draw, this one. We could grow next season from 11 teams to 12, possibly more. and I think a top 6 absolutely offers something for this competition. We have seen teams in final series miss out by just the smallest amount of percentage. The top 2 get a rest, so that rewards the 2 best teams in the competition. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. The winners then go into play in preliminaries against 1 and 2. I think it's got a lot of legs. Look forward to talking and discussing that more for Super Summer Series Season 5.
Fair enough.
Good shot, bad shot. SSS 26-27 should offer a variety in its course offerings.
Yeah, good shot. I don't mind this one. It's a nice little bunt down the fairway, I think, this one. As long as it's not Tullamarine. I think we just want quality. We want something close within our radius. We don't want Tullamarine with its ordinary course condition. And Keilor's too easy for the good teams to dominate. It doesn't give us battlers like Berkeley and Co. We're a battling team, and we got to win a few games at these harder courses because it gives everyone an opportunity. And I think if we, incorporate the likes of the Melton and Gisborne, the Medways and whatnot that are around our area, I think they're more than capable courses for
All right.
evenness of the competition.
Something for the commission to consider. Obviously, we're a very consultative commission, so we'll put that out there. But I think a couple of other rounds are in order for next season. They're very popular, so we'll have a look and we'll report back ahead of next season.
Commissioner Coggers has been fined for breach of publicly abusing the commission. Should Andrew Graham receive the same treatment?
Yeah, good shot, that one, Ben. The commission's actually at the moment going through its due diligence for its the WhatsApp group and the post since January, and there has been a few, red flags around Andrew Graham and his conduct, and particularly the public abuse that's been displayed towards the commission.
Ben and the Fat Man.
Yep, and Coggers was actually fined mercilessly to set an example of what kind of behaviour we want to uphold this competition for. And the Commission's actually looking at that. So I think Andrew Graham could find himself in a little bit of trouble and be forking out some dollars into the SSS Treasury.
Hopefully it's enough to get that slab of grosh we always like, thanks to Coggers in previous years.
All right, it is the grand final, 1 versus 2. It may even be the first time I've had 1 versus 2 in the competition. Ben, we're going to wish you all the best for the grand final. We thank you for your participation in SSTV this season. That's what you're playing for. Don't touch it. Don't jinx yourself. Luke has refused to touch this since it's been in the house pending this TV show. We'll see you Sunday against the Cannons, and all the best.
Thanks very much. Look forward to it.
So we are looking for Sunday, 2:30 p.m. report to course. As always, we do like to have a gallery, so players are welcome to come along. It adds to the day. It certainly adds to the pressure of teams. And last year we did see a big gallery there. So we're looking at teeing off at around 3 p.m. Good luck to the Cannons and good luck to Berkeley and Co. We hope to see as many Super Summer Series teams and players there as we can, as we welcome in Peter Delbridge, the inaugural Super Summer Series Premiership skipper.
Thanks, Max.
You've touched the jug. Your name is engraved on it. That's what we're playing for this Sunday. What is it like to be a Premiership player in the Super Summer Series competition?
Well, Max, thanks for inviting me on. And honestly, you guys have done a fantastic job all year. We've really enjoyed the broadcast. This is what it's all about. Like, winning this jug is what we all play for. And as you know, the Cannons have won it before, and I am in no doubt that the Cannons will win it again.
Well, you've won it. You've been able to hold your nerve. You've played another final series where you held your nerve. Your partner, Wayne Wunham, was the one who kind of succumbed to the pressure, didn't play his best golf. Can he lift? And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But do you think he's up to it?
Oh, absolutely. When you've played as much pressure golf as we have over the journey, you just get a bit used to the pressure and you absorb it. Look, make no mistake, Berkeley and Co are a very, very tough team, but I have no doubt that the Water Cannons will come to the fore.
Oh, we'll break them down. So there's no chance of you being fit and ready on Sunday. Let's get that elephant out of the room straight away.
No, thanks, Max. Love to be there, and all things pointing in the right direction. I will be there to support my Cannons, but no, I won't be playing.
Righto, let's have a look at the tail of the tape here, Dally. So the Cannons finished first, so a fantastic season set up by you. early on. I think you played the first early rounds and really set Wayne up for success. First 7 wins, 2 losses, a draw. The semi-final, they had their handicap at 0.5, shooting par, so coming just under. Well, interesting to see what the handicapper does with that. They shot 8 pars and a birdie with Mopper, so Matt Thorley, the new replacement, so playing really well as a team. I think Mopper did a fair bit of heavy lifting again in that game. For the season, 45 pars, 7 birdies. We'll compare that against Berkeley, so second on the ladder. Probably jumped from nowhere to finish second on the ladder post Christmas. Semi-final, handicap of 4, shot a 39, so shot their handicap down to par, so very interesting. 5 pars on the day and a birdie, so 3 less pars than the Cannons, 31 pars for the season, and only just the 1 birdie for the season. So in terms of net pars and birdies, they're -14, -6. What's your assessment of that kind of performance?
I think golf's just it's a numbers game, Max, and as you can see from the figures you've put up there, fairly certain the boys have already played their grand final. They shot the lights out to get to the grand final, and in my assessment of the numbers, the cream always comes to the top, and the cream in this case is the Cannons.
You think that they'll get there, all right?
Without doubt, we've got Mopper absolutely playing out of his skin. You've got Wayne, who's just rock steady and playing very, very good golf at the moment. I've heard that his recent rounds have been exceptional. I think Berkeley would have to pull one out of the box to match it with the Cannons.
Wayne shot an 85 last Saturday at Gisborne in comp, finished third, so 85 off the stick, and that included an 8 on 1 hole. So he's certainly in form. He's been driving well, but will the occasion get to him?
Well, that's always the big question, isn't it? Whether people can rise up to the challenge, or whether the challenge crushes them. And I've played a lot of golf and cricket with Wayne, and I have no doubt that he will rise to the challenge.
Well, he's already put it out there that on the WhatsApp group, concerned about the time that the tee off comes and will it be dark. Now, I think that shows us some level of anxiety about the upcoming tee time in the grand final. I'm not sure that he's sleeping well at night. Now, you have experience in sleeping with Wayne when he's on edge. So what do you think? How will he be coping with this? That post was a bit concerning to me as a casual observer. I'd be focused on your own game. So I think he's on edge. How would you? What's your thoughts?
I think Wayne plays his best when he's on edge, and having spent a little bit of time with him overseas when he's been on edge, it's entertaining at least. But he's the sort of bloke that rises to the occasion, and I think with him and Mopper together, Mopper will just keep him nice and calm and playing his best golf.
Righto, let's have a look at preparation, because to say preparation is the key. We've had our scouts out there this week, as you would. SSS TV wants to go and have a look at how the teams are preparing. So let's compare the preparation of the Cannons as opposed to Berkeley and Co. We'll start with the Cannons. So really intense preparation, really taking this seriously. 5 rounds in 7 days, 3 driving range sessions, a technical swing assessment. The shaft flex has been tested and confirmed as accurate. They've done some ball testing, and there's an upgrade coming in terms of their ball that will be used on the day. I'll talk about that later. Yep. Clubs have been cleaned, re-gripped, and grooves sharpened, and they've had 3 Mind Coast sessions.
This is what I'm talking about, though, Max. Leave no stone unturned. You do the absolute maximum. You do the best you can to ensure that you're prepared for that ultimate game.
Right, let's have a look at the preparation for Berkeley and Co. So they've had no rounds in the last 7 days. There's had no driving range sessions, no professional check-ins, no equipment inspections, no equipment purchase. Clubs have been uncleaned in 12 months, and they've done 3 bar crawls. They've had no Mind Coach sessions. So your thoughts, do you take the more absolute dedicated application, or do you take the more relaxed, we don't really care that much approach?
Well, as you know, Max, I would take the Berkeley and Co preparation over the Cannons on this particular occasion. However, for the guys that are playing the game, I think they thrive in that environment.
Are they setting themselves up for success? Let me just talk you through something else here, because if you compare we'll firstly have a look, you compare their preparation, you're talking about a Rory McIlroy versus a John Daly. So there's the juxtaposition of how these two teams were prepared for the big day this Sunday. But we do have news is that Wayne Wynnum has done the ball testing and has upgraded to the ultimate ball that you can get on the market, the Titleist Pro V1. Now, I want to ask you something. Is that just a little bit of misguided arrogance, or is it a shrewd sense of self-assurance?
I would say that that Wayne leaves no stone unturned. He is just striving for success, and he will do all that it takes. And this is just proof positive that he will do everything it takes to get that success.
Is he setting him up for failure? Is he setting himself up for failure? You have a look at that preparation, upgraded to the Pro V1s, putting a lot of pressure on himself.
Absolutely, but that's the sort of bloke that Wayne is, and luckily he's got Mopper there just to back him up and lift him up on those odd occasions where he might mishit the ball and not quite strike it as well as he should or he could. He's got Mopper there to just boost him back up again. He'll be fine.
Righto, let's have a look how they're going to line up this Sunday. Have a look at the handicap. So again, it's first versus second. Both teams with 7 wins, so very evenly placed. In the semi-final, the Cannons had 0.5 as handicap, shot 35. Berkeley and Co. handicap of 4, shot 39 and 35. So it's only 0.5 difference in terms of the scores had these teams played each other in the semi. The handicapper's done his job, and he's said that you finished under par, you're going to pay the price in the semi-final. So the Cannons will be off scratch in the grand final. And for Berkeley and Co., unchanged. They will go in at 4. So there's a 4-shot difference for Berkeley and Co. So they shot to their handicap. The handicapper didn't see fit to apply any further penalty, given they shot to the handicap and shot par. So a 4-shot difference. What are your thoughts?
Look, that's horrendous. Like, look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Like, they both shot 35. How is one playing off scratch and the other one +4? I think the handicapper really needs to have a good, long, hard look at himself.
Well, no, they did shoot 34.5 if you apply the handicap.
34.5. Honestly, there's not that much difference. The boys played exceptionally well. So did Berkeley and Co. I just think that's a little bit harsh.
Who's going to win the match? And where's it going to be won? Where's it going to be lost? Let's get down to it.
Okay.
We're playing the back 9 at Midway.
Yep.
Where's it going to be won? And who's going to stand up as the best player?
You could play this on the moon. The Cannons will come to the fore, and regardless of how much pressure they're under from the handicapper, they will come to the fore and they will play their best golf. I have no doubt whatsoever that Wayne and Mopper will rise to the occasion.
Okay, so let's have some objective analysis here because I sense a bit of bias coming in. Where can Berkeley and Co. win it?
Well, I think Berkeley and Co. need to get into the heads of the Cannons as early as they possibly can. And personally, if I was Berkeley and Co., I'd be filling them full of beers as early as I possibly can.
That mightn't happen. So let's talk about what they can do tactically on the golf course, whether it be mind games. How do they get on top early? Like, if they're at what point, if they're, they need to square the first 3 holes and apply the pressure, how do they win the game?
Well, Berkeley and Co. just need to halve every hole. So they just need to match whatever the Cannons can produce. And the Cannons will produce good golf because they're both good golfers. Berkeley and Co. can play out of their skins. Absolutely. They need to do it early to put any sort of pressure on the Cannons to try and get that result.
Righto, Pete. Your tip is the Cannons. I'm hearing that loud and clear.
Absolutely.
Well, will we see you there on Sunday?
Absolutely.
All right. We look forward to seeing you there. We look forward to a great game between first and second. The Cannons, who are clearly going in as the favourites, versus Berkeley and Co. as the underdog. Ben, just come in and join us as we talk about the Claret Jug, Sunday 2:30 p.m. on Medway. Dally's not backing you in.
Good luck, mate.
Dally's not backing you at all. Just crouch down a bit so the camera can see it. Dally's not backing you at all. You got it up against you, and you're happy going in as an underdog.
Yeah, well done, Pete. That was a great analysis of the Water Cannons. So, look, we're looking forward to it. We're the underdogs. We'll rise to the top and see what we can do. There's no pressure on us. I know we've got a Claret Jug to lose, but we put the pressure on Wayne early. We know he'll fold. He won't want to lose to one McManus, let alone two. So I think we've got the mind game set.
All right. Good luck, Ben. Thank you very much, Pete. Look forward to seeing you both and as many of our SSS viewers as possible Sunday at Medway Golf Course for the Grand Final Super Summer Series Season 25-26. See you there.